Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're working on Nick's 530i again. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be replacing the hood latches and possibly the cables. So it's pretty common with these e39s for them to be for the latches to go bad, or like for the cables to stretch, or because there's 3 cables for some reason. So before we get right into it, the first thing you guys will need to know is that the bumper will be coming off, and you will need a T50 torque socket, and it has to be a socket because of the angle, and those are the only specialty tools. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first step is getting your hood open. So now if your latches are broken, or one of your cables is broken, you're not going to be able to get it open just by pulling the handle. So the first step is you're going to have to remove the driver's side kidney grill. So if this is a UK car or a Japanese car, it'll be this grill, but the rest should be over here. So under here you have a cable, kind of hard to see, a cable that runs between the latches, because there's 2 latches on this car, and that ties into one of these little holes in there for the actual latch mechanism, and it runs across, and basically if these are both are connected, you can just press on the latch over here, which is you just put a screwdriver in there, sits like this, and you just press over, and you can see it open up like that. You just press over. Once you press it over, both latches will pop. If the cable in the middle is broken, then you can pull down on the cable like this, and that'll unlatch this side, and then you just do the same thing over here and like notch it over to the side. Once that's done, you can pop the hood and we can actually get started. Alright, so now that you have the hood popped, the next step is going to be removing the bumper. So as you can see down here, you have these 3 torques. That's what actually ties into the latches, but they have to go out through the bottom, and to do that, or they have to go out kind of like this way, and to do that you have to remove this rubber shroud piece, but to remove that, it's behind the bumper. So first step in removing the bumper is, if you come down here, you can see there's this plastic piece here, and there's these 2 little push pins. So if we go ahead and remove these push pins, the whole thing will kind of come forward a little bit and then out. So I'm going to grab a screwdriver and we'll get started on that. Alright, now that you have a flathead screwdriver, or if you're in the mechanic world, you can have like maybe a panel popper, you can go down here and just pry these out. And once you get them out enough, you can pull them out with your hands. Like that. There's one. There's 2, so it should kind of unclip. Like that. You have these little kind of barbs here, so you have to kind of come past that and then it'll come out. This is actually missing a panel around the light, but it doesn't really interfere with that. So we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. And once both pieces are out, then this is when you're gonna need your T50 torques. So we'll come back for that. All right, now that we have both of those trim pieces off, you're gonna need a ratchet or some sort of 90-degree device and your T50 torques. So underneath in this panel, you have these 2 little circles, if you want to show that. Circle cutouts. In there is a T50 torques. It's about, I don't know, 4 inches long, and there's one on each side. So you go ahead and as you can see, if you had just a straight Torx like T-handle, it would hit the bumper. I'm going to go ahead and loosen those. They're not super tight, they're just kind of snug. Oops. I'll take the socket off and just spin it by hand. And that is the first bolt. So there's 2 of these, one here and one on the other side where we took the other piece out. And then after that, you just have a couple of like kind of clips or screws in the fenders. These ones are kind of missing. They'll be down here. So you have like one down at the bottom, and there's supposed to be like one right here, but this side just doesn't have it. Once all those pieces are gone, and you make sure there's no other pieces on the under lip, the whole thing will slide straight outward, and you can slide it just out just enough to get the fog lights unplugged, and then the bumper can be set aside. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the rest of them, and we'll show us pulling the bumper off. All right, so now we have all the fasteners removed, and we're going to be it has these two little rails on the side of the car. We're just going to be pulling it straight outward, but you gotta be careful so you can undo the fog lamps. Should be able to just... Your side good? I have to kind of jostle it or pull it around the corner. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and undo the fog. Actually, unplug the fog lamps. Oh, this one's not even. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and set the bumper to the side. So we'll just set it face down on the rug. Alrighty. So now the next step, which is pretty much, if you don't have all that many tools or all that many like specialty stuff, you may have to remove the headlights. There's plenty of videos on that. It's really easy. There's just like a bunch of little 8s and a couple connectors, and the whole thing's come out. But we're just going to be kind of working around them. And now we're going to be removing the grill. So we're going to get it reset, and we'll show you how to do that. All right, so now pretty much the final step for us, if you don't have very many, like as I said in the previous clip, if you don't have very many tools, you may have to remove the headlights, because we're going to be removing this plastic guard, which kind of runs up behind them a little bit. So what you have is you have this fastener for this air vent that'll have to be removed. Then you have these 3 clips up here. They're a little bit more difficult. You may need a pair of pliers for that. And then you have a push pin clip here. And then, kind of hard to show this, but behind the light there, and on the other side, and then one more down here, are a bunch of 8s. So there's 3 8s, 4 push pins, and a 10. So we'll go ahead and remove these clips first. So you have this pair of pliers. We're gonna go ahead and take a screwdriver, and we're gonna try to push the pin up from the bottom a little bit, just enough to get it up like that. We'll go ahead and pull that out. And then this middle one may be a little bit more difficult. All right, we'll come back when all 3 clips are out, but they come out the same way. All right, so there is a specialty tool that I left at work, so we are actually going to be removing the headlights as well. It's pretty easy. You just have 4 10s. You have one here, and if you want to come a little closer, you have one here, or actually, sorry, they're 8s, and then you have one down in there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those real quick. We're gonna go ahead and set those aside. Gotta be kind of careful of this corner. I guess I didn't undo that one enough. Where'd that tool go? Where'd I put? Oh. Whole thing will come out a little bit. So realistically, we could just kind of leave it kind of just partially taken out, so you don't have to undo any of the connectors. You want to be very careful when you're working around it though, because now we have much better access to that point when you just use a long extension. So, because you can just put this right to there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another extension, And now we can start taking out the bolts for that, or little tiny screws for that plastic cover. Got one there. Oh, there's not. There we go. Here's that one. I'll push the. Just kind of, yeah, leave the light. And then we got the push pin down there. So we'll go ahead and try to pry that out a little bit with the screwdriver. Grab the pliers. And then we're going to go ahead and take out the light on the passenger side. All right, now we have the passenger side light kind of slightly removed. We can get to that bolt back there. And then finally we have one more bolt down here. Right there. We'll set those aside. So now this whole panel is pretty loose. It's gonna have to be, you know, kind of bent or slightly misshapen to get out, just because of this vent here and everything. All right, like that. Now that's out. Now we can remove these Torx. Okay, I guess there's two specialty tools. So they're both Torx. One is a T50. One is a much more common size, which is a, I can get it out, a T27. Sorry, T30. It's going to be a T30. So there is two specialty tools. My bad. All right, now we're going to go ahead and loosen 3 latch bolts here and here, and we'll come back when all those are out. All right, so now we have all 6 Torx bolts out. They're a T30. So now we can go ahead and get out the passenger side latch first. So kind of will go kind of out and, or kind of down and out. If I remember correctly. Oh, hold on. No, we have to remove the shroud. I forgot about that. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So okay, we do have 4 more bolts or nuts. That's these what, those 14s, 15s, something like that. They are 13s. All right, now those 4 13 mil nuts are out. We do need to undo this connector for the fan. So pinch both sides. Oh man. All right, and then use a flat head. Go ahead and use a pair of pliers. Yeah, like that. That works. All right, now we can remove basically the whole fan. kind of just come down. We'll set that aside. All right, now this is the cable I was talking about earlier, the one you pulled down on to release, but now we can pull the passenger side latch out, and then the driver's side latch out is kind of just loose. So there's a cable that goes in the back side of it. If we follow that around, that comes up to here. Actually, I need a flathead. You have these two kind of secured like clips. Kind of hard to undo. All right, there we go. We'll put that back in there like that. Okay, so yeah, this cable will come out like that. I have to, oh man, to kind of come out of the little barrel like that. This will get detached, and then this whole thing will kind of be routed out. Kind of a tight passage, kind of weird. Alrighty, now we have the first and second cable out, the two latches, and the little like assembly thing. So this is all pretty much going to go in the trash. We actually undid it before to try to just do the cables, and it turned out one of the hooks on the latch was broken, so I had to super glue it. So that's where we're replacing both latches and cables. Now we can go ahead and grab the new latches, and we can set up all the cables, and we'll come back with that all set up and we'll show you. Alright, so now we have the new latches hooked up. As you can see, they're the exact same as the old ones. And we have the middle cable and the cable on the side done. The new cable actually comes with a new this thing. So now it's just basically reassembly in reverse order. So we're going to go ahead and feed this through up under the light. There's kind of a little, I might actually have to close it. There's kind of a tight passage in there that you got to feed it through. It's going to go in front of the light and out to right about there. And then we'll just put this up into position there, and then this one goes up under there like that. So we're going to get those secured down with all those little Torx. Okay, so these do not have fresh threads, so they have to be just kind of jammed in like a sheet metal screw. So, but yeah, you just use the same 6 or whatever, and we'll just jam them in. Let me give a drill. All right, now we got the new latches in and tightened down. So they are kind of a sheet metal, so they have to be kind of like really wrenched in there to get them started. So there's 3 bolts on each of them. They're all tightened down. We have that wire fished through. It actually comes through and then kind of like on top of the harness for the headlight, and then over here it just snaps into the original holes like that. And then this barrel will go into this piece. Let me get a pair of pliers. Down in there like that. And this will get put in there like that. This will be shut. And the cables and latches are replaced. From here on in, it's just reassembly in reverse order. So we'll go ahead and start with the fan. This is the 4 13mm nuts. Seat on all the studs. We'll put on all 4 nuts. Like that. Go ahead and tighten those down. No, this stuff is like super tight. Alright, all 4 of those are tight, so we'll go ahead and do the connector down here. And that gets latched behind this little cable tie thing. Alright, next up is the plastic shroud that we had to take the bumper off for, which is super annoying. So this is going to be fed behind the vent. And then under and kind of behind the light. Let's see, make sure. Just like that. So we'll go ahead and put the 3 clips on top. Those down with the pliers. Like that. We have the push pin down here, which, find it. Sit all the way down. Oh, the cable. Pin. And I should have a bunch of these 3 little 8s. So grab the other socket. Alright, I got the 8 and these 3 screws for the shroud. So we have the first one is back under there. There we go. Oops. All right, now we have one down here. And then we have the final one back behind this light. Right there. All right. And then we have the long 10 mil for the vent right here. And then we can put the lights back in. So the lights are just put in reverse order. You got to be careful about this little tab back here. If you want to come show that. So this tab has to go behind. So you gotta, as you push it in, that gets kind of tucked in, and then everything else should kind of clip over. Like that. There we go. All right, like that, and then you have the 4 bolts right back here. Just reverse order. We'll go put those back in real quick, and then we'll get set up for the bumper. All right, guys, so now we have the lights reinstalled, we have the latches reinstalled, everything's back. So the last step is going to be the bumper. So, you know, you just have those 2 T50s, and the whole thing kind of just slides on. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the bumper, walk it over, kind of flip it upwards, and we're going to reconnect the fog lights. You don't want to forget to do that and have a light on your dash. And then these sides will slide in. Maybe a little difficult to line up. Kind of get it. Do you have it on the?
It's on the rail. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, I don't think your top one is. Yeah. It's kind of like. Hanging up. Fuck. Is there like a fend? Alright, now we can just put in the T50s. Pretty close. Okay. Let's put in this one first. Alright, we'll put in the other one. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Okay, let go a little bit. Get started. All right, so now we're gonna tighten down those T50s. We'll go ahead and tighten those back up, and then you just put in the panels just the exact same way they go in before, and we'll come back when it's all finished up. All right, so now we have the bumpers back on, everything's tightened down, we have the new latches, a couple of new cables, and we even put in the brand new kidney grill. So we're gonna go ahead and shut it, and we're gonna call it done. Thank you guys for watching the video. We have a few other videos on this car along with Jake's 540i, which is the same generation. We have a ton of other videos fixing stuff, reviewing stuff, so please go check those out. Please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.